Good pause YouTube, 6fthax here. Have for you guys today, pretty fun, close OU Wi-Fi battle I had against Aaron2420. His channel link and stuff are gonna be down below. He does upload. If you guys want to go check him out, feel free to go do so. Now, if y'all do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. And actually, speaking of hammer and hammer arm, somebody actually pointed out in my previous upload that I started saying hammer that like button instead of hammer arm that like button. So I guess let me know if you guys which one y'all kind of like better. Like, do y'all like hammer the like button or like hammer arm the like button? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below, because I've been like kind of switching it up between the two. But I don't remember where I got this team from. I think somebody passed it to me, or maybe got it off the forums. Either way, don't take credit for it, but a pastement of it will be down below. And there is two valuable lessons to be learned out of this battle. You guys may have been able to tell by the team preview exactly what they are, but I will go over them after the battle is done. That's why we're in the classroom today. So going into this matchup, Tapu Koko is absolutely terrifying. Like, holy crap, I have literally nothing to just stop this thing from coming in and potentially getting a KO every single time. So that's actually why I lead off with my Ferrothorn, because if he doesn't have the hidden power of fire, which I haven't really seen too much on Tapu Koko lately, then I should be able to force him out or take anything he wants to go for. And I do expect him to want to hard switch out or volt switch here, which is why I end up going for the knockoff, as I'm able to knock off the Rocky Helmet on the incoming Tangrowth. Actually, the fact that he's got Rocky Helmet is kind of cool, because you normally see Assault Vest Tangrowth instead of Rocky Helmet nowadays. But either way though, I really don't want to risk switching in my Charizard Y against this, because it could maybe have like the Rock Tomb or the Rock Slide. Shouts out to Quinn. Fucking hate you, Quinn. No, I'm just joking. But this does give me the confidence to switch into Charizard here, because he didn't initially go for his rock type move. He actually went for the knockoff, so I hard switched right into my Charizard as he actually switches into the Magearna. I did expect him to either want to stay in with the Tangrowth or try to switch into Magearna on my Mew, knowing that Mew can't typically do too much to Magearna, as I'm gonna go ahead and Mega Evolve here. He has literally nothing to stop me from just bringing in my Charizard Y and clicking Flamethrower, as even in the sun, even though this is stabbed, sun boosted, super effective, that crit, depending on the set that he was running, actually did matter. But even in electric terrain, if he was modest max special attack with the electric terrain boost, I still lived the volt switch. So I don't really think that crit was game changing, but if he was a assault vest set, he would have been able to live and get off damage on my Charizard to then save the Magearna later in battle. But you guys will see how the game plays out. So in comes the Tapu Koko. Obviously, I don't want to take a volt switch or a thunderbolt, so I switch directly back into my Ferrothorn as he volt switches into the Greninja. Now, the fact that he brought in Greninja on the Ferrothorn is screaming to me, hey, this has hidden power fire. Either that or he's bluffing like a god, and I don't want to stay in and risk it either way. So I'm gonna switch on out of here into my own Greninja, expecting him to go for the hidden power fire, or if he's a man, he'll go for the U-turn and just annihilate me if he was scarfed. Thankfully though, he doesn't have the U-turn, and he does turn out to be hidden power fire, which actually still does about 50% to my Greninja. And that is because of the sun boost and it being stabbed after protein. So I am in a pretty good spot right now to just safely go for a Dark Pulse. I'm very positive that he's not going to stay in and risk a speed tie, so I can just be aggressive here and Dark Pulse whatever he wants to switch in, whether it be the Tapu Koko or the Zygarde. I'm still going to get off a good amount of damage on whatever comes in, and I end up making a bit of a risky play, maybe an unnecessary play in the long run, but I really didn't want to risk Zygarde potentially being a Dragon Dance set. And if he had predicted me to switch out, then he could have gone for the Dragon Dance, and that could have made things really hard for me in this matchup. So I do decide to be aggressive and go for the Dark Pulse, knock out the Zygarde, which guessing was not Banded, because I think a Banded E-Speed at the range of HP I was at actually would have knocked me out. But either way, I'm able to activate my Battle Bond, which is really nice, because now my Greninja is guaranteed to outspeed his Greninja, as in comes the Medicham. I really don't want to take the Fake Out, and honestly, I don't essentially need Landers in this game. Like, yeah, it would be nice to get up Stealth Rocks and maybe just use it as a sack fodder, but even getting off the Intimidate on this Medicham is good enough, because now I can basically bring in my Doug Trio and I will be able to trap this Medicham, and there's no way that he's going to be able to live a Tectonic Rage. Funny enough though, Earthquake was about a 60-ish, I want to say, I think it was like a 60-ish% chance to knock out Medicham in one hit, but knowing my luck, I'm gonna get absolute minimum damage, and I really don't want to risk that. Plus, at this point, I literally have no other use for my Z move on any of his other Pokemon. Like, if for some reason they outspeed Tapu Koko, I already knock it out with the Earthquake. Greninja's faster than me, and Tangrowth already resists EQ, so definitely going for the Groundium Z move here to guarantee the KO on the Medicham was by far my best play. As in comes Tapu Koko, I know he can't knock me out in any one hit, but either way, I don't want to risk giving him a potential free switch back into his Greninja, because even him bringing in Greninja for free just potentially gives him a free KO on something. So by leaving in my Dugtrio here, I could have maybe forced him to like overpredict or potentially KO the Tapu Koko, or if anything, got off damage on the incoming Greninja, or a little bit of chip damage on the Tangrowth. At this point, I really have no more use for my Dugtrio, so what I'm going to do is just go for the Toxic on this Tangrowth. That way I can at least put it on a timer, and it'll be a little bit easier for me to deal with. But once he does knock out my Dugtrio, I just get a free switch back in the Charizard, because he doesn't have Stealth Rocks on his team, so he's got nothing to stop me from just bringing in Charizard, clicking Flamethrower, and something just dying every single time. So at this point, it's just a matter of what exactly he wants to sack off, and then we just go from there. So I do bring in my Charizard here, and I'm going to go straight for the Flamethrower. Thankfully, it's not Fire Blast, because we all know my luck with that move at this point. I think I should just stop even considering Fire Blast on anything, honestly. Either way, though, I won't be able to pick up a KO here with Zard Y. Now, I honestly don't agree with him sacking off Tapu Koko. I really feel like he should have sacked off the Tangrowth instead. I mean, I guess because Koko couldn't do anything to Ferrothorn, then I guess that kind of makes sense. But still, I feel like Tangrowth was the most expendable team member that he had, as opposed to his Koko. Either way, though, down goes the Koko, and that's absolutely amazing for me because his matchup has just become a little bit easier. So I don't want to risk this Greninja potentially having the Rock Slide, which is why I actually switched directly into my Ferrothorn here, because if he did have the Rock Slide, I could scout out for that and rack up an extra turn of Life Orb Recoil damage. So I would have been able to get off 2 Life Orb Recoil damage hits on the Greninja, but because he did go from Gunk Shot, obviously Steel type, not affected by it, so he only takes 1 turn. But it's okay, because now I get a free switch into my own Greninja, and no Protein Greninja ever runs Water Shuriken. Although in the back of my mind, I was really terrified about that, but honestly, no Protein Greninja ever runs Water Shuriken, so I literally lose nothing in just bringing in Greninja here, going for the Dark Pulse and either knocking out his Greninja or finishing off the Tangrowth with the Toxic as it comes in. So down goes the Tangrowth. At this point, his last Pokemon is going to be his own Greninja, and I end up making a really big misplay here. Like, this misplay was not game-changing, but it was honestly just a really bad play for me to have done. What I 100% should have done was switched into Mew, so he lost his Dark typing. And as he knocked out my Mew, he would only be a Water type. So then that way I could have brought in my own Greninja and guaranteed that I knocked him out with the Dark Pulse. At least that's what I was thinking at the moment. So this allows me to get a free switch into my Charizard Y again, which is really nice because at this point I'm very positive he doesn't have the Rock Slide and I can live any one hit. But because I do still have my Mew in the back, and this Greninja is down to the point where 2 Life Orb hits are going to knock him out anyways, I know I can live 1 hit on the switch in, and then even if he does have a move to knock me out the following turn, it's going to get knocked out by Life Orb Recoil, as he ends up going for the Gunk Shot. So yeah, if he didn't have the Dark Pulse here, I should have definitely brought in my Mew before going for the Dark Pulse with my own Greninja, and then that way it would have been a 2-0 instead of just a 1-0 in my favor. Either way though, very good game to Aaron2420. I think we are now 1-1, so definitely we have to have a tiebreaker. Now, if you guys may have not noticed like the little things I was talking about, looking at the team preview, I had literally nothing to deal with Tapu Koko. Like, if he had Hidden Power Fire on Tapu Koko, it literally just came in every single time and got a free KO. But the thing to learn from Aaron's team is that he didn't have Stealth Rocks, which means I literally just brought in Charizard Y every single time with no drawback, and that's actually a reason why I feel like Stealth Rocks are so important, and I stress this all the time, guys. You definitely always want to have a team with Stealth Rocks. This match was a perfect example of where if he had Rocks up, he wouldn't have been able to let my Charizard just freely switch in and out for free, And if I had a Scarfer on my team, then obviously Tapu Koko wouldn't have been as big of a problem. But either way, if you guys learn anything from this match, have something to deal with Tapu Koko and have Stealth Rocks on your team. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the fun, close battle. Make sure to hammer that hammer arm. Let me know which ones you guys like better. Hammer arm that like button down below. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, buddy.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.